Oh yeah. Tangazo Shatan ne Zalapega ta Piri la ne Piri Machiving la ne ta Gonkama Kasheji ne not Jai so yours.
So usually before beginning my talk, we do some meditation together for a few minutes.
Nimekola mombo tu leka mombo chetisala ani sembate te chibu medengena ani tindi sonso yonsi wares tindi yundi sala ani hoteka tela ni chi she de waina ani sembal chitan zutu wares ro te izate sembal hele yunga cheta ani jinse chi tindi sares.
So there is a good reasons for why we do this, spend a bit of time in meditations before we begin the teachings. So the main reason is to really to ensure that we we bring we have a calm and a stable mind, which is important for listening to the teachings. So this meditation that we do before the teaching, so it will help one to get rid of all the disturbing thoughts that we might have in our mind, which is maybe something which is the caused by what we have been doing during the day times. So it's like when we have all this, the thoughts we still carry in our mind, then of course it's very hard for us to listen to teaching and to do any things. So therefore this meditation that we do is to really to empty all these disturbing and distracting thoughts from our mind and bring the enhancing some sort of inner peace and stillness also.
Temota jitu gonja di sala mi pa mombo yore sro mi pa mombo yore te ebe nonela ngati unjung la tene ngato tuma gonja di sala unjung na tene minene gonyo te di jago yores te jag ya karse unjung la mi pi gomte jitu gewa mare mge mare luma te res luma te insa ko semba tru dingi zona wojena lonso unjung la gonja na semba te unjung la psi mi pa te ta unjung la mi waina mi pa podewo ani potrio resro lonso ne giwe ngona ta shoju senda o matopan tani da wajil mi baina te mi pa te lonso te potro mares ko lo madeng help ye jenda tani pe shoju sena ji go trio mares te insa tuma sma lele chogo resti.
And in this the meditation that we will do together, so where we place our mind just on the incoming and outgoing breath, and the breathing, breath is used as an object, and now since the breath is as an object, is a kind of like a neutral. In the sense is not we don't call it as a the breath as an object. It's something like a virtue or wholesome, or nor is like a non-virtue or the unwholesome. So it's the breath. It is a neutral object. So therefore, once the through this meditation practice, when we kind of if we are able to bring about a very kind of neutral state of mind, a neutral or the indifferent state of mind, then our mind, it makes us easier afterward than to mind to direct to whatever we want to, such as if we have to listen to direct the mind to this teaching, topic of the teachings, so we will be able to do quite easily. Whereas, instead of this, if our mind is really very disturbed, and rather than is in a neutral state, then it will be hard. Whatever activity that you undertake, if you are about to undertake, so it's not easy for us to suddenly to shift our mind, direction of mind to that objects.
Then going to get a chicken lemon get a your modest. Then dig Judala tene and a Susan Yerigan, Sovegan Nolula. And it is Samba Chasimbona, the Shibo Mewata. And the new in their castle, and it the Nigata, Winjula, Sechitama, me, and it with the Andros, Mandos, Teletene, and it takes Sechitimina Kamakaji, that's Detana, and it's so no Penduchimboyres.
Yeah.
So Nolula.
And as to this breathing meditation practice, so it is anybody can do this, can apply this practice. In another word, you don't have to be like a follower of certain religions, or you don't have to have certain belief in some things. So but anybody can do this, and has you will find it very beneficial in terms of bringing bringing one's mind or the thoughts under control, and so if we if we become like the familiar with this meditation practice, breathing meditation practice, which is quite a simple in terms of its technique. There's not much to study or to learn about it, because what the practice, all that practice is to just you to sit, quietly, and then to trying to, as much as possible, to simply think of one's breathing. That is to fully be aware that how now that I am breath is coming in and now breath is coming out, and not just keeping the mind there, not losing to any other objects. So in that way, when we train our mind, then the mind will we can make the mind then to just to sit on there. If we become familiar with this technique, then we can bring the mind easily to the object of the breathings. So therefore, it is this technique is very beneficial, and its effect is so immediate. So therefore, it's a very useful tool for one, to especially if in a life, in an everyday life, if there is something which really you find your mind very disturbing and very agitated, and then you can instead of just in order to get rid of such mind, so you engage in breathing meditation, so where you just simply shift all your directions, mental, the focus on the breathings, and you will find that how the moment the mind sits on the breathings, and you forget all about those disturbing thought, and slowly then you find the peace within, or find enhance the inner peace and stabilities.
맞아 걸 주다나 대지 야포예 되겠다. 아니 드니 이나나 야 미데 대지 보내. 다시 단에 니다 맞아 쉬네 드니 좋아이나 미데 보만이 그래서 이나다 맞아 때 운영한테 다 주단다고 치 아니 되네 지 개와서 선반나다. 아니 드니 온다고지 이나 미파테 템베고 군다고 치랍니다. 네, 대 미파야 보여. 그래서 미네다 건자와이나.
And so, just as we use this, the breathing as an object to develop the mental focus, mental concentrations. So you can also, if you like, you can also choose any other object that you would like, and in fact, certain objects for certain people, such as for those people who consider themselves as a follower, as a Buddhist, and who have a faith in the Lord Buddha, then you can also use the image of the Lord Buddha as an object, and then you can train your mind to sit, to focus, keep focusing on the image of the Buddha. And so by doing that, so not only this increases your mental concentration, but there's also, because of your faith in that image, which represents the Lord Buddhas, that then there's an added benefit of accumulating merit and so forth. So, however, having said that, if you are perceiving this, engaging in this the stabilizing meditation, where you fix the mind on a particular objects, so, and specifically to cultivate what we call as the meditative state of samatha, or a single-pointed concentration, or the calm abiding. If this is achieving the calm abiding, if it is your goal, then it is highly recommended that you don't shift the objects, you don't change the objects. Rather, whatever object you found and you decided to do in the beginning, so it is advised that you have to use the same objects to attain that state of calm abiding.
Tembe kul mine gonjawa ina ne tindriga ta lapochi sekro ngacho nombe ngine shena wanda tembala yichi yingi ji kuzo ngine shena winanda kaina ngacho kala shimboji mazana ani tembala chewa piye de tayin kores goya bo gonsona ro ani chi soso kangen da ji tesona ya ani ta kenchu chese temba chese ji ani soso le shadow soso jaten da bochi ani ko tayin kores ro manta imbeta ngacho ti yapoji gonsona jiku ngacho ti 다 시엔 차례다 니마질 시에인 버렸어. 대뒤살아요. 템바 텐시 빙문에니 다 수속 위든 가서나 아니 시아시마 다가루나니 다 덴로 모돌라 공르라 아니 시와 아니 덴데레스는 된 당가서디 농비준에 시에데 거랬어.
So as said before, so as a Buddhist, when we use the image of the Lord Buddha in our meditation practice, then this would we will be then able to develop our faith in the Buddha's qualities, and also it kind of help us to remember the Buddha all the time. So such as it will whatever action we do, such as even when we are eating some food or taking some drink, we would remember to make the offering to the Buddhas. So if we have if we always have this remembrance, recollection of the Buddhas, the Buddha, then we remember that. Likewise, in a life, when we face sudden hardship in our life, again we would be able to remember the Buddhas, and then to seek refuge in the Buddhas, and to seek and to regard we're relying on the Buddhas, just like saying that we whatever one is facing, so we will face, but with Buddha as a witness to our what we go through, and then we feel, as long as Buddha remembers that, Buddha knows that, we say to ourselves, it's okay. And then likewise, of course, we, particularly, if we could easily remember or recollect the Buddhas, particularly when we face the death, so which we all know we'll have to, inevitably we all have to, face one day. So it is said that in that moment, if you remember the Buddhas, then there is no then it become a good cause, a very immediate cause for one to find a better rebirth, like a happy rebirth. So in another word, that it's a guarantee that then you won't fall. Because of this, the recollections of the Buddhas and the faith of the Buddhas at that moment, that guarantee that you won't fall or take rebirth take a lower rebirth. So therefore, the reason why I'm saying this, these are the benefits that additional benefit that we can have, by using the image of the Buddha as an object to focus on or to reflect on.
Tene ta tombol tembal mini goma tiche ani sosi gishiwo dela ani temba chonden de ni ta soso tsai lama seina ta dedo mo yeme pini ta temba chonden de shiwo ju somba che tene dela ta soso chu de mo ngi de shibi ga ta so ta de zala ani dele ni koragon jawi ga ta temba chunju ji ta nga tewo so so ji ma dene ani sosi ga monchang ta pegu ta ka tu ta wa tene ji lo ni pechu somba che tene ge shi zo dengi shi che ne ju so tene dela mine
ta ku zrang timse ta ku ji mo rang timse
ja kunda ni pa chi
no
rong ta se me da
no
ye ju de wa tene jin ta ne so puge la chi
dula
so chi dula chi le so ba chi tele chi rong da ni pa chi ma che ne
de mix so
rong da ni pa chi ma che ne puge so so ge mon chang te le ju so ba chi che ne ani te wo ju she me te so sho pi jo na ki kumba la pe tu sa re so tene ji ga sam de la ani le so ro chi ne pi te su ji ni ba ani tene ji mine ne te chi mine ne ga da ko des.
So if you if you are using the Buddha as an object of your meditation to focus on, then the how you do that is that you can imagine the image of Buddha upon the crown of your head. There's an image. You can think of the Buddha upon the crown of your head, and then so when we think of this, so it's not we have to focus. We have to think of that image as the living and as actual Buddhas, you know. and then after that, then you can think of how from that the Buddha on your crown then comes out like another Buddha or like a replica of that Buddha, and which like in a very small size, you know, about which comes in front of the in the space in front of yourself. This is a small Buddhas, and in aligned at the level of one's own, like the center of one's forehead in the space in front. And so for this again, just like that is also you have to think as the actual Buddhas, and then the you know, you focus on that, and then if you are reciting, if you are saying any prayers, you know, such as like a supplication prayers for Buddha, to requesting Buddha to bestow one some like inspirations, some, you know, guidance, teachings, and the blessings, so on. So you think of that this is the prayer is made towards this the Buddha in the space in front of you.
Tendi tembe ke temba chunchi teya ane te chi jagu ye tengi shi na u shuna ane mi pate mo shoya ane nga zo ti pe yor sing dusro te oni tombo gongen da wajina ane temba ti ta mi chesa ma shunu ta mi da kala so pa se wajin cha ma ta na yo ten cha wala chita mbeze ma so chi ane dudu koronta ye se shi ye tengi tengi ji nomba chat ni jumbe ji da kale konsona ni se ndo resro.
And so this the image of the Buddha which you imagine, which you have imagined in front of you. So when especially in the initial stage, so you may not have really have a clear detail of that of the Buddha from that image, you know, like the clear the pictures of how the face of the Buddhas and his hands and the legs and so on. So it is said that that is the if you don't have such a clear the detail, the pictures of the details of the Buddhas, it is said that it really doesn't matter. So in fact, it's important that you don't trying to get the clear pictures. So rather, what is important is to just to you know, whatever image that comes in your mind, you know, even if it's something really just like some very vague image, whether it's in the form of light or some solid something, the, you know, concrete. So whatever image you get, so you have to imagine that as the that represents the actual Buddha to you, to yourself. And so now it is also recommended that you have to imagine that image is not completely like a you know, that image has bearing some bit of like a weight. It carries some sort of weight. It's not because it is said like as if it has some you know, like the weight. Yeah, and this is to it is said that this help us. This is a good condition for one to maintain the focus, or in another word, not losing it help one thinking of that object image of the Buddha having some sort of weight, it help one to not losing that object.
대응다 동보 공연도 저거 대체 이투투투투도 어떤 거네 보여res. 네 저림보 다텔 미팔 비테 못해 소피칼레시 위자드나네 에지그 다 대체 거니 마통했더니 레고 그래서 이투투투투 다 대체 내는 리서리스 소노 보시나 네 삼죠 아니 용용주고 주거나 네 야보여res.
And it is also recommended that if you are beginners, the meditators, for meditation practice, then to keep the length of your session, like a short, and then but you can have the many as many such this session as you like. So this is to say that when you as a beginner, so when you start meditation, and if you rather than the keeping the session short, and then but if you try in your session, if you try too hard to get it done, to do the meditation properly, trying to force oneself, one's mind, or in another way, you're trying to stress yourself to see the to be able to focus the mind on the object properly, and so on. So then the result would be that you would get tired, and also you will then lose the interest in meditation, in doing the meditation again.
대인사 당가 좀 연돌라 네 까마카시지 네 다 템발 미나라 소소티 위뉴을레 미나 소소소 공 대와야나라 도노질 미네 까마카시지 대제고스 주다나오지.
So let's now we put this what we have I have talked about these meditations into practice for a few minutes. So you can decide to do either you can do these breathing meditations practice, or do the meditation on the Buddha as an object of your meditations.
to chess.
Thank you.
Tangazo long himegani, Ching Santan Manjo Insra, Nishi de Carisana, Loreva, and Martin Chadegores.
So now I'll continue this teaching on this text called the quick path, which is the practical guide to the stages of the path. Stages of the path. So this text which we began the last year.
Tenta long mala courage and Goyersana, Chidoni, Lorendela, Lodge, Shini, Tebitsada, then a Lochitajon with us in New Esra. That's such a tumble, Lodge, Shini, Tebitsate, and a Nanang Rosaris. So as to the outlines of this text, so there's a one major outline which we or the heading which we finished last time is called as how to rely on or how to serve the spiritual master of the gurus. So we finish about that. Ta dudun rawi nani ta launch tsawa shinyi tembichil dudun rawi ji kaya rawa se na nga tso ta 동문 지텔라요. 아니 다 로주 문보지 속 그래서 또 강갈 기에 된 거 그래서와. 드니 다 맞추이나요. 대화 내가요. 대화 때 간데서 저거 예매때 아니 개개진을 때는 시크고요. 그래서 대 로주 제 그거를 개개진할 때는 시크고요. 된지 그 개개때 아니 간데서 체크건데 개개때를 치지 가세 그건데 아니 개개때를 간데지 그건데 위해서네. 아니 디고시에 대화해서
So under that that heading of how to rely on or serve the spiritual guide or spiritual teachers, we learn about the first why we need to rely on the spiritual teachers. So of course the answer is that we have to even in the mundane world, in the world, in order to acquire educations, we have to rely on we need as teachers, somebody to teach us, and so in this way likewise in a spiritual path, so what we are primarily perceiving is something like a lasting happiness, and how to and then we need, in order to really to be able to find that lasting happiness. So we have to rely on. So we have to rely on the spiritual teacher or someone to show how to find it, or the happiness, and so under this heading, so if we have to rely on the spiritual teacher, then we have to know first of all how to find how do we find such a spiritual guide, and what are the qualifications that we should look for in the perfect spiritual guides. So these are the things which I think we studied under that heading of how to serve the spiritual teacher.
Ni ta nga chu chume ni Sendeli inanda, Seshima inanda, that Seshima inanda, Tanila Dewaji, Dungamandewa, Dewaji Dene, Dewati Tate, Ani, that Candis drug game, that was Shinite gay, thank you, Jinsena Terete or res. Ta, then Sarene, Ani, Kariche Gurusena, then Sane, Nita, Ani, Gate Shalanda, which Chene. So Mosendel Devada, Nishmel Devat, Nishigachi Omaris.
So therefore we rely on the spiritual teachers to find happiness in this life and also in the life after and the life after that. So that is our goal. Our goal is to gain this happiness, the lasting happiness, and then there's also caution about the having found after having found the spiritual teachers, then what do we do? What benefit we what should we expect? From the spiritual teachers. So is the happiness that which we are seeking, is it something that the spiritual guide, the master, can simply give to us, like in the form of bestowing some sort of spiritual power or the blessings. So of course that is not the case.
Then so say dunga mongo yore dunga to sota gewishini ten saviji kutela gewishini tigata dilungol chapa chel chobanuji ane togechi omares roa ane ten ajiga soso zapola ta ne na sana to so bi membe ta me to ne ta karse ta ngasote semo lewanuji semo sun semo lewanuji lene tondo ichi omares roa ten ujiga ge korong jela ani ta tupaya poda tndig yo ataso natural tricks and machi tnizo tag ichi yo mares.
So the happiness that we seek is not something which can be handed over to us by by our spiritual teachers. And on the other hand, the reason why we rely on spiritual teacher is to really to avoid or to get rid of sufferings and the pain in our life. So again, this suffering and pain that we go through, which we do not want, again it is not something which the master can pull out from us, like if you have some something like what do you call thorn, thorn, which is stuck in us, cannot pull like that, and likewise whatever the negativities or the sin that we have created, and which can be cause, which can act as a cause for our future suffering. So it's not something which can be our master can wash away. We can wash the dirt, the stain of the cloth. So it's not cannot do that.
다 가르치네 가서 대화 타고 다시 때 가르쳐 그러잖아. 아니 다 기회신이 그 땡겨서 라자도. 아니 소소기 녀슬래 깔레자. 아니 요네 요다 대지체네. 아니 녀슬래 강자네 했더니 소소그 대회 더 이제 그거 그랬어.
So the so having found the spiritual teachers, so the how how we can the benefit, derive benefit from the master teacher is through the learning, is through receiving teachings, and the teaching on our spiritual practices, what to do, what to not to do, or this finding some guidance on our life, and so therefore this is the role. So therefore the role of the spiritual masters, the main role for us is to show the guidance, act as our guidance for our life, showing the right directions in our life, and then whether we will be able to go to right direction or we we are able to find happiness and to get rid of sufferings. So this is then too much depends upon implementing, upon practicing, putting into practice whatever the teachings, the guidance that we receive from this from the teachers.
Then Zatanga sache ni pengune tene lochita jungi rambasine ta gyushini tene ne lochita jungi rambas tane meris ta tane rambaja dama ne mene mangos ju ko res ta loch kanesa jungo kandu ne rambada ne mangos ju ko res.
No. So the next, the major heading of this outline of this text is the having relying on these spiritual teachers, then how one train the mind, train one's mind in the path. So it is under this the heading. Then we learn about the what are the practices that involve in training our mind and in transforming our mind and ourselves.
Ta di sache tumboti ko tudun rawo te karishe ko sena ngazo migli ni ta chidrenge ta karishe ta so dewada de tawado toje chebatni dengeji na ani tande ngazi ko topic litende ani chintene zacho go yin bares te zacho yin ba ko ko res bores.
So in here, one of the first thing that this text addressed to us is the preciousness of this the human life, the value of this human life, and so this is it is saying here that how if our goal is to find the lasting happiness in this life and in the future life, like such as even the a permanent state of happiness or even the complete enlightenment. So to achieve or to work towards achieving such goal, it is says here in here that there's no better form of life than this human life, which is so potent, so much in the potentials to achieve this goal.
가르서는 가속 리텐데 개침모임바도 짜침모임바 쇼지 학고소나 수수 학고소나 텔레 템비가 아니 텔라 제테세 그러고 다무자 자자다 아니 텔 때네 비다 just 줄어만 동아 아니 드니 용고여러 왔어. So
we find the in here these instructions on, or the teaching on, how this human life of human life is so precious and of great meanings. So, and we through this, if we recognize this, the preciousness, the value of this human life, then because we value because of this, then we will really cherish our life. We will see the worthiness of this human life, and so therefore this would, as a result of that, as an effect of this, such a realization of knowing, recognizing the preciousness and of this human life. Because of this, then we will be motivated to not wasting our time, and not wasting our this life loss.
Pena ngazo tenuji cheparo noni chowe nolola sosola chala ne tsachimbo shiwujena te tsachimo imate sosoko hakuyena ani tela pitula mundo ya topi karina chizogrba ko tsachimo imbala ne tsachimo imba hama kona ani tagasego ne tel chete sogomarwa o tenuji res.
So for example, if you have some objects, really very valuable objects, and highly valued objects, and when you recognize this value, then you would really cherishes this object, and you regard it as a very because you see its value and it's very special to oneself. Whereas if we don't recognize its value of that, then even if that object is very valuable and is very rare and very special, then you wouldn't cherish, you wouldn't see it that way, and then you will be because of that, then you will become very careless, or you will really careless whether you even if you lose that object.
Pena ne ya ngazuti nima ngazo payula ndi yoris karsena ne tong chenbo jingol pe do chanjare sunatari ne ta nima ne jamo mombo chitelene jami mombo chitelene ne jirimbo deshas jirimbo te disal de deshas ngazo payila jela ne jami to man ta koran su tendo na buji ma mando rondo na jikine mando gitu yesares disal jami kaje ne dot zoltane ngundus ta zachi more desas dot ngundus ta nando zachi buji shane rogo yoresene kuzo dabo jaye mararo ne 제장 아주 파이 못서다 드니그 도트서 자치 모임 하고 고요 말에 자트서 돌다는 거 근데스네다 이한 센스 지고레스 어 드니지스타니 다 자치 모임 하마거나 아니 소소 대pe치 모임 하마거나 소소 자치 모임 지금 말와 어 드니나 보시레스.
So if I tell you these stories, which is real stories which happen in Tibet, so when at a time when Chinese first came to Tibet, so in one like the area of that the eastern Tibet, so there are large number of Chinese came to the place where there's a full of like really rocks, just rocks, everywhere. And so they stayed there for a little while, and then afterward, they don't know the reason, but they have to leave. They have to move to some different place. They have to leave that area. And the local Tibetan noticed that these Chinese were actually crying. Have a tear. That and then somehow they didn't understand why this place is so barren, it's just a rock, and what is special about this place, and then to leave this rocky place. But what happened was, what later on they found is all these rocks are mineral, very precious, precious stones, and that is why they didn't want to realize the value of those stones. Whereas the Tibetan didn't realize that they couldn't believe why they cried to leave that barren place.
제자다 디수잖아 아니 도트즈 차소 홀메 베체타 차소 주사레스로와 디치서 베체트니 예와데 하고 말스데.
So the local, they didn't know all this, the value of those rocks, and then for years and years they never thought of utilizing. So now, of course, all gone.
다 드니제스 드니 다 ngazo 딩고네 마시디살라 ngazo 리테테 짜침보테 임바테용 진짜 몸봉고네 소노토네 진짜 몸봉고네 소노토네 지제와이나 수수고 로테 파 진짜 몸봉고네 신운데살 로테 슈침보나 보지 지텔라 나 짜침보 임바 하공에 로지여와 대피 할레비 다 슈침보나 보지 드니 용고요레스 너네 진짜 몸봉고네 수요레스.
And now, as to recognizing this, the meaning or the value of the human lives. So, in this text, so it gives so many reasons, various reasons. So now you might think why it gives so many, why we have to think about the value of this, the human life in so many different reasons. And so this is because the more reasons, in a more different angle that you see the value, then this your mind which recognize that this value, then it will be more be more forceful, more stronger to recognize this the meaning of human life.
Penang azo chepare ngazol se dunan rojiena ta diga zona guichimbo kugre sosol jencha zona ya pozo chuersen shumombi tune tipo peche ya wai sonon ko waina ne setel pi tenoji gone zachimbo zona ko was ane tenoji re dela shu sosigil migli tente shumombi chane ne ta zachimbo imba sono to ta waina ane te zachimbo imba te. So
just as how in our normally if you have some, like for example some, let's say some a piece of gold, and then which you highly cherishes, so and because you highly cherish it because you see so many purposes for that, important purpose. You can make beautiful rings that you can wear. Or if you know that if you sell it, it's got a lot of values, and then there are so many. If you see its usage in so many different purposes, then when you have such so many purpose, so many reasons why you have to look after this piece, and then because of that you cherish it more, and this is why in order for us to have the wholeheartedly cherishes this value of the preciousness of the human life. So we have to reflect upon the various and the many reasons, so many angles to why this human life is meaningful for us.
That yundi kasana ngatu tanjo chi litete ane jinse kase jingonela ane zachimbo imashi yorsena jinse choje tawa je dunjowa chasene jinse choje jingone ne bi
Yes. So in this text, so which we will study just later on, so the text gives the 18 reasons, why this precious human life is precious. So this technically is these 18 reasons are called as the 8 leisures and 10 endowments.
Ta tise nga so ti yongsa mare ina yong nge chron zu le leka ji te yisrwa kai se no ta denul mombo ji gni lor tema mombo nye sa resrwa ha ku gres te yinsa tawa je do jowa che sing ji resrwa denonel ne tawa je to den suna jowa che to den gres wa jowa che to den suna tawa je to den gres ne tawa je to jowa che te so so ni zu ne ani te den ge yeme de ani ji so so sono to ni ji kyun ga so pachi chinta ji ma del pachi do ni je chu gres
so we nearly running out of time, so we won't be able to go into these 18 the characteristics of the human life. And so before the next week teaching, so Geshe La said he has a little homework for you, which is to first of all to find out what are these 18s are. So many of you are already been studying this the text called LamRim teaching, so you may be already familiar with. So even though, so you just maybe refresh yourself about this the 8 leisures. What are the 8 leisures and the 10 endowments? So there's a 2 set, 8 leisure and 10 endowments. And then next, so once you know what are the 8, what are the 10 endowment, then Geshe La wants you to know whether 8 leisures, whether the 8 leisure includes all the 10 endowments or not. Okay. In another word, if you have a human life which possesses this or characterized by these 8 leisures, then that means you also have all the 10 endowments or not, okay? and find out, or maybe if not all the 10, you might have some of them, and then as well as other way around, think of the human life which is qualified by these 10 endowments, and then if because of this having the possessing 10 endowments, so does that also necessarily mean that you also will automatically have the 8 leisure as well? So just if you could think on this.
Tananga so loran gone jungu yoresro so ta lor jona ne lor nyos lang gong ko res gong bala ne to so machina ne gong sing yo maresro so gong ne shiate ne chimushi res.
So here we are engaging in the study and the practice of the LamRim text called LamRim, which means the stages of the path to enlightenment. So this means we must, if we are studying LamRim, so we have to pay attention to all these different, like a listing, like 8 leisures, 10 endowments, and because these are the things that when we say we are meditating on LamRim, these are things that we are supposed to be meditating on. And the LamRim meditation is about that. So if you don't know what are the 8, what are the 10 endowments, then what you're going to meditate on this particular section. For example, this on this preciousness of human life. So therefore it's a good the exercise for one to as part of this learning to trying to to study and to even try, if you can, to memorize the 8 lectures, 10 endowments, and so in this way you can when you remember all this in your head, then you can meditate on this.
Da tri misa chigme ni jimane ni ngazo deji she chadi sal suzu sonsa ga tawatlen la biji ni kamachi tangara sa jog ngazo jo churesro
so I think tonight, so we won't have a time for like your question and answers. So hopefully in from next week in teachings, then at the end maybe you will have the opportunity to for question and answer for maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Dedication, page 11. Gewadi Yududa Lama Sange Drugyune Drowa Chikyang Marupa Sara Gopasho Janchu Sencho Rinpoche Make Panam Ke Guchi Ke Panyam Pame Paya Gonen Gondu Belwasho.
tuji che ta